Hello dear students, welcome back to NEWSPAP dated 30th August 2024 Friday. I hope you are doing good, you are happy and you are having a great time. If you are happy, please do comment in the comment section and please do spread happiness. So before going to today's discussion, three things as I do every day. One thing is regarding if you are liking the content of the channel, if you are liking the content we are providing, please do subscribe the channel if you have not, and please do share the content and please do like the video also. And the second thing, the material of these classes which you could see in the slide, the PDFs, it is freely accessible to you. For that you have to just go through the link given in the description box. That is the link towards my Telegram channel, my classes by Mohamed Azhar. So there it is freely accessible, you can access this material. And the third thing is regarding the timestamp which I would be putting along with the video, so that you can refer to specific topic if you wish to. The main intention is that if you are doing your graduation or your schooling, you may have some kind of activities to talk upon some topic or some current event, so you can come to the playlist and see each day which all topics have been covered. The timestamp is there, so that for that also we have put this. So these three things, and again I'm requesting you to subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed, and do share the content. And here we go for the first article. The first article is talking about DGCA places SpiceJet under strict watch over poor financial health. So here regarding the SpiceJet, what was the issue? It is not a matter for us, but there is an body which have been mentioned in this article, that is the DGCA. So this DGCA, we have to see what is the objective of this particular DGCA, what are the functions they are performing, and these are the dimensions. And that too, in the two links you can give to the syllabus. The first thing, in the prelims you can get a question on DGCA, and in the mains, in the general studies paper 3, you have this infrastructure, energy, ports, roads, airports, railway, etc. This topic for UPSC I am talking. So here also this body, you can expect a question how this DGCA is ensuring the airport infrastructure or the airways of the country is done in the proper and regulated in the correct manner whenever there is a need. So here the article is about the DGCA, which is India's aviation safety regulator. It has placed some surveillance to the SpiceJet due to their financial troubles. They are actually making their services trouble to the passengers. So DGCA has intervened into it, involved into it, and the things are happening. For us, as I already said, we should know what is this DGCA is all about. So the first point, it is a regulatory authority. Regulating what? It is regulating authority for the civil aviation in India, and the major area which they would be focusing is the safety measures. And under which ministry it comes, that is also important. You can guess under which ministry it comes. It comes under the civil aviation ministry. So it ensures there is safety, ensures there is efficiency, and also it brings some kind of steps and policies towards the growth of the Indian aviation sector. Now let's see what are the functions, what are the major functions that DGCA performs. The first one, air transport services. All the services to India, from India and within India, that is the basically the international and domestic services. It regulates the transport services by ensuring air safety, maintaining airworthiness, and also ensuring enforcing civil air regulations. Next one is the aviation safety part for both the passengers and also the crew members for operating the aeroplanes, for their safety. Accident and incident investigation. If there is any unpleasant event or some accident happens with regard to the aviation in the country, this DGCA will be inquiring to it. And also there is one international organization which is known as International Civil Aviation Organization. So this particular international organization, DGCA is the one which coordinates all regulatory functions with regard to the ICAO, and it aligns India's aviation regulations and ensuring that it is following the global standards and practices. And the next function is giving licenses and certification to the aviation personnel, to the pilots, to the maintenance engineers. The licensing is also done by DGCA, and also the modernization of aviation infrastructure, the new airports which are coming, and also the modernization of the existing airport. All these are taken care of the DGCA. And also aviation industry, they are promoting the growth. It collaborates with airport operators, other stakeholders, and they contribute to the development, the growth of the aviation sector. And the most important thing is the air traffic management. So you must be knowing the Airport Authority of India. There is a body called Airport Authority of India also. So they closely associate, they closely work with the Airport Authority of India to ensure the traffic, the air traffic within the Indian airspace. It is done in a very proper way without making and troublesome experiences for both the aviation staffs and also the passengers. And developing new air traffic control system, ATC system basically. So that is also one of the tasks of DGCA. So we have talked about around 8 functions of DGCA. This DGCA, you may get a question on, as I already mentioned, how this DGCA is contributing to the or enabling the efficient transportation in the aviation sector. So if in this tone, if you are getting a question which is asking the role of DGCA, all these 9 functions you could write. And for the prelims perspective, where is the headquarters? It is situated in the New Delhi. Okay. So in this article we talked about the DGCA, its functions, what are the scope of their functions, regarding the safety of the, or if any incident happen, any accident happen, all these 9 dimensions we have discussed. And for the prelims perspective, you should know where it is headquarters is, right? And here we go for the next article. The next article is from Odisha, and it talks about an achievement of a tribe. And for the first time that a student qualified the NEET and is going to pursue MBBS. Let's clap. Let's clap. Please do clap in the comment box also, because this is such an achievement for the community also, achievement of the tribe also, and for the government also, for their initiatives, for considering these tribes, and also the Odisha government. So this is the article is about, from the Bonda tribe. Here from the UPSC perspective, this Bonda tribe is something that we have to look into, okay, because the tribe, whichever the tribe, this is not a big news, but still you can have an understanding, because Bonda tribe was appeared in the newspaper many a time. So Bonda tribe is a very important tribe in Odisha. So we have to see with regard to the Odisha, so the Bonda tribe in Odisha, and this particular article you can use it as an example of, if you are getting a question like how the empowerment of the government initiative that have taken to uplift especially the particularly PVTGs. So if these questions have been asked, this you can write in as an example. Yes, whatever the government is doing or did in the past, the results are being bare. So this is one such an example you can write if you need. So here the major thing we should discuss is the tribe, about the Bonda tribe. As we already discussed, see, that is from Odisha, and this is one among the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. 13 PVTGs are there, and this Bonda tribe is one of the PVTGs and belongs to the Odisha. There are 75 PVTGs in Odisha. It is 13. In the 75 PVTGs in India, 13 PVTGs are in Odisha itself. So you can understand how Odisha is very important with regard to the scheduled tribes or PVTGs. So in the 75 PVTGs across the country, Odisha is having 13 PVTGs, and the most important PVTG among it is the Bonda tribe. This Bonda tribe, if we talk about the origin of this tribe, see, it all started with an ancient migration. They are Austroasiatic tribes, and these people are believed to have been part of the 5 wave of human migration out of Africa 60,000 years ago. And these tribes are the earliest forest settlers in India. These Bondas have unique culture, identity and practices, If we are talking about their lifestyle, they are mostly forest dwellers and they are a matriarchal society. Means this Bonda women, they would prefer to marry younger men, 5 to 10 years younger than them. So it's a matriarchal society. Women are taking decisions, women are having a leading role, because obvious, if they are marrying a person below 5 to 10 years, so they will have a voice over them, they will have decision making power. So that was a matriarchal society, and their dressing was also distinctive, where the women were semi clad and they had rings and necklaces, and men, they were carrying this bows and arrows, which they use for hunting and protection. And there is a language which they were speaking, which they are speaking is the Remo language. This language also you have to remember with regard to this tribe. Okay, and there are two divisions of one upper Bonda tribe and lower Bonda tribe. So that not a big deal to deal with, but the most important thing is because the lower Bonda, when you are talking, these are living in the plains and has more interaction with non-tribal communities and external influences, those who are in the lower Bondas. Where in the upper Bondas, these people are more inaccessible forested areas, and they maintain a more traditional lifestyle away from the mainstream influences. But the lower people, they live in the plains and has more interaction with the non-tribal communities. So this is the difference. And see here, this is important, the other PVTGs, the 13 PVTGs in Odisha, because you may get a question in prelims asking this PVTGs and which state they are belonging to. So you should have a go through Bonda, Birkor, Chuktiya, Bunchia, Didai, Chungaria, Khanda, Hilkaria, Juang, Kutia, Kont, Lanchia, Lotha, Mankirdia, Paudi, Buyan. So just go through this PVTGs and try to learn then and there that these are from Odisha, so that you are getting a question if they are asking a question, this particular PVTG belongs to which state, as if it is coming from Odisha, because Odisha is very important, because major chunk of this is being from Odisha only, the PVTGs. So just remember this name, this tribal name. Okay, and so that is about this article. I hope you understood. We talked about one achievement from Bonda tribe. For the first time, one student has cleared the NEET and is going to the medical college, and from that we inspired to learn about the Bonda tribe, and also we went through the other 13 PVTGs in the Odisha too. And the next article, Pakistan invites Modi to attend the SCO meet in Islamabad. So the article is talking that our Prime Minister was invited by the Pakistan to be a part of the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization Council of Head of Governments meeting in Islamabad, which will happen from October 15 to 16. And the current chair of the SCO is Pakistan. So this you have to remember for SSC PSC people, that the current chairman of the SCO council is Pakistan. Now let's go to understand, because Shanghai Cooperation Organization is the subject matter. So we will see what is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The first point, that it's an intergovernmental organization which deals with the political, the economical and the security alliance. And when did it form? It was formed in 2001. Initially, when 2001, there was only Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. And the first summit was held in Shanghai, China. So from this, the one point you should understand is that India was not a founder member, or India was not a member initially. The initial members you should understand. And what are the objectives of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Strengthening the member relationship, promoting cooperation with regard to trade, energy, transportation, scientific and technical research, and the regional peace and stability. They together combat terrorism, separatism, extremism within their member states, and a fair international order. This is very important when talking about the SCO. The SCO didn't want to have a bipolar world order where Russia or USA will control everything. The countries will be aligned between Russia and USA, but SCO support a multipolar world order with balanced power dynamics and also a Shanghai spirit. This is something you can write it in your answer, Shanghai spirit. You can quote it in your answer. What is the Shanghai spirit? It's Shanghai spirit which emphasis on mutual trust, which emphasis on mutual benefit. So this is something called Shanghai spirit. And official language with regard to prelims, the official language is Russia and Chinese, which is used in the SCO Secretariat. And talking about the member state, The founding member, as we already mentioned, Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. India was not a founding member. You have to be very careful about it. India and Pakistan, both of them joined in 2017, and in 2021, Iran was also announced to become a full member. There are 3 observers: Afghanistan, Belarus, and Mongolia, and dialogue partners from Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Turkey, Egypt, Nepal, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. The most important thing, India was not a founding member. Both India and Pakistan joined in 2017. In the history part, 1996, Shanghai 5 was established. Okay, Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, and Tajikistan. 2001, Uzbekistan came to it and then was officially formed as SCO. 2015, the decision to admit India and Pakistan as full members was taken. 2016, India and Pakistan signed the Memorandum of Obligations, and 2017, both became the full members of the SCO. 2021, and Iran is announcing the full membership. So this is the history how India and Pakistan got into this. India was not a founding member, so you have to understand that, because in prelims you may get a statement like that. And the organizational structure, there is a Council of Heads of State, Council of Heads of Government, and Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, then Council of National Coordinators, the Secretariat, as we already mentioned, it is in Beijing, and very important organization is the RATS, Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure under SCO. Okay, and its objective is to coordinating efforts between the member states to combat terrorism, separatism, and extremism, and its headquarters is in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Then SCO Business Council and SCO Interbank Consortium. So the SCO, the context was that India was invited by Pakistan. Pakistan is the current chair of the SCO, and from that we inspired and we learned about the SCO. Okay, the history of the SCO and whether India was a founding member or not. No. So all these things we have discussed. So for this, before going to the next article, please do comment in the comment box whether you are happy or not. Please do spread happiness in the comment box. And yeah, now we go for the next article. India China hold 31st WMCC meeting to iron out issues. So in the LAC, line of actual control, we are having a long-standing issue, difference of opinion with China. And here I have given a picture courtesy to the Indian Express or some newspaper. For this image I am putting the courtesy, so you can understand the LAC here western sector, then the middle sector, then comes the eastern sector. So this LAC is in with China, we have a lot of disputes. So here basically we had the 31st meeting of working mechanism for consultation and coordination on India-China border affairs in China. So the objective of this discussions was to resolve the issue which we have with China in the line of actual control and improving the bilateral relationship between two. And talking about the agreements, we have put forward the peace and tranquility. We have agreed for the joint effort to bring the peace and tranquility in the border areas, respecting the line of actual control and intensified contacts. Both countries agreed that intensify contacts through diplomatic and military channels, military talks, and then focus on border issues, the military standoff. Regarding that also we had a talk, and the resolution, emphasis on resolution, the standoff, the urgency that we are having, everything should be done on resolution. Then diplomatic efforts, continued dialogue should be there. So the whole idea was that WMCC, you should know a little bit about WMCC also. It's just a platform which is established to ensure peace and stability along the India-China border. Okay, for the meeting held, and the outcomes, mostly it was to bring the peace and stability in the LAC, respecting the line of actual control. This was the article about. Now talking about the next article, and this you can write it in your as an example. Whenever you are getting a question, I will tell you the article. The article is She-Box portal launched for women. She-Box. Okay. So what is this She-Box? We will see. And from the syllabus perspective, see, if you are talking about the UPSC perspective, whenever you are getting a question on prevention of atrocities against women, especially in the workplaces. So if you are getting a question on the similar lines, you can write this is an example as an initiative that the government or the Ministry of Women and Child Development took or launched in order to address the harassment of women at workplace. So that initiative is She-Box. For the PSC, SSC, CUET, this initiative can be asked. You can give, recently this initiative was launched, She-Box was launched, what was the objective? That way you can get a question. And also recently Women and Child Development launched a program for the complaining, for monitoring and registering the complaining at the women at the workplace. So which among the following is the scheme? So that way also you can get a question. So She-Box, you can write an example in your mains answers, and the example you can quote wherever you are getting a question on what are the interventions or the policies that the government took to address the atrocities, the harassment at workplaces. So She-Box is such a system, and it is a centralized repository of information related to internal committees, which comprising both private and government sectors. It is not just confined to public or government offices, both will have. So the She-Box, this is important for you for UPSC or a prelim, SSC or RRB. I told you how the questions can be put. So it is basically to prevent this kind of atrocity, sexual harassment at the workplace. Okay? She-Box, you should not remember. The next article, Supreme Court projects jobs of government employees whose caste tribes were descheduled. So this you can link to the syllabus part, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of the population by the center and the states, and the performance of these schemes. So what this article is talking, so Supreme Court has ruled that, see, there will be some SC or ST categories, they will be notified once, but later it will be removed from the list. But there will be someone, when they were into the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, they got into the job with the reservation, but later their caste, their tribe was removed. In these cases, this person should not have any consequences. Their job should be protected. So Supreme Court ruled that to protect the jobs of government and bank employees who were initially hired based on their scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, but later that was removed. Now there are two articles which I have mentioned here in this particular news, Article 341 and 342. So we need to know what this article is talking about. So Article 341 and 342 talks about it is giving the authority to the president to specify the caste or the tribes into the include those into the scheduled caste and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe list respectively. And Parliament can modify these laws. However, there is one provision, because recently we are hearing about this subcategorization of caste. Okay, so as per 341 and 342, you should understand it do not explicitly prevent this provision of subcategorization. Explicitly it is not mentioned that subcategorization is not permissible. Okay, you should understand, because in the prelim statement it may give you, it has explicitly prevented the subcategorization. No. So 341 and 342 gives the authority to president to include the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe into the list. So this is Article 341 and 342. So these two articles you should understand, because directly the last prelims they asked Article 21. So in similar lines, this Article 341 and 342 can be asked, because subcategorization in news, and Supreme Court has also given this observation that, what was the observation about? See, I was into the scheduled tribe. My tribe was into the scheduled tribe. I got into the job with the reservation. I am working in a bank, but after 10 years it was removed from the list. So in that case, I will still have all the provisions, all the reservation benefits which I had before also. So the Supreme Court said that this has to be ensured. The next article, inform the public of government work, Modi tells ministers. Here I put it as a new use because here is a quote that the Prime Minister said. This you can use it in your answers, your interview, wherever you could. What was that? Reform, transform, perform, and now inform. This was the message that Modi gave to his ministers who are associated with this infra projects or something. So this term, reform, transform, perform, and now inform, you can tell it your interview, your mains answer, you can tell it. This was our Prime Minister Modi told. First we should reform, then transform, then perform, and now inform. So he was telling the ministers how the government is working. We have to inform the public So for that, the transparency, that accountability, so this is in your syllabus also. So for all the questions coming from that part of the syllabus, you can write what the Prime Minister has told to his ministers. These words are very important. And yesterday also the President told about the women atrocities. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. That is a word you can use it. The President of the country, the First Lady of the country has used that enough is enough. So these kind of quotes, words which have been used by the VVIPs or sitting in the positions like Prime Minister or President, you can use it in your answer also. Now comes the next article. Submarine Arighaat set to add ballast to nuclear triad. So this you can link to UPSC prelims, so SSC RRB, PSC, CUET etc, and current affairs you can link to. So what is the special about this INS Arighaat? INS Arighaat is India's second nuclear powered ballistic missile submarine. Okay, second one. So what was the first one? It was Arihant. Okay, so the first one was Arihant, and now the second one is INS Arighaat. Okay, so you should, for this you can guess which is the first one, which is the second one. This kind of questions you may get in your SSC examination. So now let's go to INS Arighaat. So INS Arighaat, the significance is that it is the second nuclear powered ballistic missile submarine, and the strategic importance, it can it enhances nuclear deterrence, establishing the strategic balance, and contributes to peace and security in the region. Technological advancements also, this is indigenously developed. Okay, the submarine feature systems and equipment designed, manufactured and integrated indigenously. So indigenous production also it contributes. And INS Arihant, I told you, it is the first nuclear powered ballistic missile, and the second one is Arighaat. And so this is the article about. So here we should know Arihant, Arighaat, first one, second one. Okay, and see, I have given the key terms here. So these key terms will help you to have the subject vocabulary, and why this the efficiency or the Arighaat K5 SLBM, it is giving to launch, the ability to launch nuclear weapons from Indian waters. This is one of the important feature of this INS Arihant K5 SLBM. Okay, so this is the article about. Okay, so the first submarine Arihant, and the second one we have mentioned. Okay, so you should know for the SSC, for the PSC perspective, you should know what was the first one, what was the second one. INS Arighaat, that is the second, Arihant is the first one. So just this perspective, you should understand what was the first one and what was the second one, you should understand. Okay, now comes the next article. This is also, you just need to learn which is the first kind of this event. So this you can link to the current affairs, SSC, RRB, PSC and CUET. And this is a news which says Southampton University to start campus in India. What is the special about this? Because this is the first university to get the LOI, a letter of interest, under University Grants Commission regulations for setting up foreign universities. So this is which is the first university to get the LOI from UGC. This would be the question. So this is the Southampton University from UK. So this is all you wanted to know about this. And the next article is again with regard to the visit of our Prime Minister to Russia and UK, and the article is connecting the dots in the Kiev visit. So in the UPSC mains GS2, you can link to two parts: bilateral, regional and global groupings, and also effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India and India's interest. So this article is talking regarding the visit that paid by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to both Russia and Ukraine, and we are positioning as a neutral player in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So India's unique relationship with this both Russia and Ukraine, because we have paid visit to Russia, then we paid visit to Ukraine. Many countries failed to have a mediation talk, but India is trying to have that significant role between Russia and Ukraine. And now India's foreign policy approach, we always had a non-alignment and strategic autonomy approach, dealing very good relationship with whatever the parties in conflict. So we don't have a special interest with anyone, that is the article is talking about. But yesterday we talked that India cannot be a mediator because India is always had an interest on Russia, because of the defense relationship, because of the trust we are having, the history of relationship we are having. So this is about the article. It's again talking about how India's mediation role, then the Modi's legacy, how it will be impacted as a prime minister if he is able to do something for this peace. He is going to get the reputation as a statesman, because many countries failed, many organizations failed, and India's unique position is also being mentioned, a trusted mediator, because Russia also trust India. Even the Western countries also trust India, when the US, but US criticized for going to Russia. Then he went to Ukraine also. So this kind of diplomatic, but still our country has not officially told that we are the mediator. But we should understand, the whole idea is that what is the role of India, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in the current global order. It's very sure we are becoming a leader of the globe. That's very sure, because see, this big issue, we are able to go to both the countries and talk to them. So this is a good positive, and it's talking about the role or the stand of the country in bringing this peace in both Russia and Ukraine. So the vocabularies are also given. Global South. What is Global South? Global South is which countries coming under Asia, Africa, Latin America, and which are developing or less economic developed. The next article by another name. So this article is talking about the Supreme Court recently, yesterday only we could discuss, Supreme Court discussed about the misleading advertisement, that the Ayush Ministry, they criticized the Ayush Ministry, it bypassed some regulations, it bypassed some provisions, Rule 70 of the provisions, and Rule 70 was giving the government to penalize the anyone who is giving misleading advertisement with regard to Ayush. It was taken back. Now the court criticized for it. What will happen if you are not penalizing the, especially there was a case with regard to one of the Ayurvedic product. I am not telling the name, but if I am coming and telling this is a Ayurvedic product, it is a very good for you, and I am marketing it the way I want, definitely it is a misleading advertisement. There is no fact, nothing, there is no study, no researchers. That should be curtailed, that should be controlled. But what the Ayush Ministry did, they took the evasion of the Rule 170. For that, court criticized. Rule 170 should be there, because it is telling to penalize the misleading advertisements. If it is taken back, the misleading advertisement will mushroom, and it will contribute to the more health concerns in the country. So the article was talking about, and the court's stand is very clear. See, you should not leave it to a free market. There should be proper regulation. You should control the advertisement and contribute to the quality control regime. And and also the political interference should also be prevented. That is one more suggestion that we can put it. So the key terms are explained. Siddha, Ayurveda. See, basically this Ayush, we could realize the importance of Ayush during the COVID time, because the allopathy alone was not able to accommodate all these patients and giving them prevention or preventive medicines. At that time, Homeo, Unani, Ayurveda, everyone integratedly, collaboratively played a role. But the problem is that Ayush Ministry is needed. Everything has to be appreciated, but the fake medicines in the market or the fake advertisement, misleading advertisement, that should be curtailed. The quality products, the quality medicines from Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, homeopathy, that has to be given and has to be marketed. But misleading advertisement, that is what making the Supreme Court concerned. And the Rule 70 of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act rules that you should have a look into it. You should understand what is it all about. The next article is regarding the biotech enigma, which is talking about the BioE3 policy that the government recently brought up. So with regard to biotechnology is a favorite area for UPSC also. So you should understand what is it about. So BioE3 policy means biotechnology for economy, biotechnology for environment, and biotechnology for employment. So to enhance the biotechnology manufacturing in the country, So this is about the BioE3. So BioE3 policy, it will definitely will get a question in the upcoming mains. It's very important because biotechnology is not just limited to the vaccine or this medical field. Beyond that, beyond medicines, we have a lot to do. Gene modification technology, bioplastic, biomaterial, precision medical devices, all this we can have with this biotechnology. And also in agriculture, where what are the potential areas in the in producing smart proteins, precision biotherapeutics, then climate resilient agriculture, carbon capture technology, futuristic marine and space research, all this domain we can use the biotechnology. And also establishing biotechnology hub, challenge in implementing the policy. There are many challenges. It's not just the investment part, but the infrastructure support is also needed from both central and state. So this BioE3, you should understand what is BioE3 and what are the areas we can develop upon this BioE3. Agriculture we talked about, precision medicine we talked about. So it will impact almost everyone. It's not just medicine. It will impact agriculture. It will have a vast area. So this BioE3 you should understand, and you may get a question also. The next article is regarding moving the spotlight to grassroots democracy. This article is talking about the state election commissions. This article is putting a concern that central election commissions are powerful, but many a time state election commissions are not powerful and even disempowered by the state governments, and which is even leading to the elections to the local governments. So here it is talking the need to empower the state election commissions. Election Commission of India, the similar lines, the power, the privileges should be given to around 34 state election commissions in India. And talking about the articles, you should know the articles. Article 243K, 243ZA of the Indian Constitution talks about state election commissions, and it was brought by the 73rd and 74th Amendment. So state election commissions will be conducting the election, supervising, direction and control of the elections to the local bodies. So here the major challenge is that many a times the state government will disempower. They will try to come into some conflict and legal dispute. For that reason, they can't function independently. Okay. So this is the one challenge, and also there is one report here. You can use it in your answers. Okay, the current status of the State Election Commission. As per the Janagras ASICS report, only 11 of 34 state and union territories has empowered the state election commissions to conduct ward delimitation. Only 11 out of 34, which is a very alarming figure. Okay, so this is the data you can use whenever you are asked about the state election commission or the challenges that the state election commissions are facing, and what are the suggestions you can say in this regard. And there is one judgment also, you can use it in your answers, that is of Kishan Singh Tomar versus Municipal Corporation of Ahmedabad. So in this case, see, if you are asking question regarding this state election commission and the challenges, and when you are writing the way forward, you can quote this judgment. In this judgment of Kishan Singh Tomar versus Municipal Corporation of Ahmedabad, the Supreme Court emphasized that SCs must be empowered like the ECI. This you can write it as a conclusion also. It's a very good judgment which talks about in 2006, which talks about that SCEs must also be empowered in the similar lines of Election Commission of India also. And if you are asking about some suggestions which you can give the suggestion: equal status with that of ECI, fixed intervals for delimitation, authority of delimitation and reservations, and less interference of this state government, and control of or election or local leaders. So with this article we talked about, the article was about how the state election commissions are empowered by the state governments, and the constitutional articles also we have discussed, and the way forward also how it can be empowered, that also we have discussed. The next article is regarding the lateral entry into the civil services. So there is no new points to be discussed from this. I just put this. So by the time you might be knowing what is lateral entry system, what was the challenge all about it. And again, I'm just going through very quick. Lateral entry means taking professionals from outside the traditional services to fill the post like joint secretaries, directors, deputy secretaries, and these people will be from private sector, or even he may be anyone outside from the government, expertise in this field. But that is the discretion of the government whom to recruit, everything. There is no examinations, nothing is being conducted. So that is one criticism regarding that. And also the reservation thing, it is being introduced as independent post. So no reservation is applicable. That is what the government is telling. For that reason also it is being criticized. And there is a system to be in the civil services, conducting an examination by UPSC, a rigorous process, 3 stages of process. So these people are coming after rigorous examinations and personality test, but these people will be coming directly, and that will have some kind of quality issues also. That is another suggestion that have been made. And see, the other thing is that these people can be recruited, but post them in the entry level. You are just taking them and directly recruiting to the secretarial post, and that too above the IAS officers, which have been trained and done, and they have gone through this examination process, trained in Labasana, trained in the specific academy. So the suggestion is that okay, lateral entry you can do, but give them in the entry level and let them learn first how the government is functioning. It's not the private sector as such. So that way also the suggestions are there. And regarding the reservation policy, there is a lot of concern. So this is another concern. It is bypassing the reservation policy. Without reservation policy, there is a chance that people from the privileged communities can only be recruited into this, and that will affect the social balance also. So the next article is talking about analyzing the gender budget of 24-25. So the gender budget 24-25, there is a data, you can use it. It has actually reached 1% of the GDP for the first time, and the allocations were more than rupees 3 lakh crore. But there are some issues with regard to the over reporting and under reporting in various schemes, so I am not going deep into that, but this is a good observation. You can use it in your answers regarding the gender budgeting, that for the first time the gender budgeting has reached to the 1% of the GDP, and allocations were about rupees 3 lakh crore. So this is also one other good article. You can use it. Just understand. See, some articles you don't want to understand the whole thing. You may get a very one statement or a single sentence that you can use it in your answer. See, I always tell my students, never expect. The purpose of newspaper reading is not to just get the questions. You may not get a question from an article, but it's your smartness. I'm helping you in that. You can note it down, whatever I'm telling. You can use it in your answer. The question might be from the theme, from the syllabus only the question will be asked. So in the similar lines related to the syllabus, if you are getting a value addition, we could term it as value addition. Like the quotes I said, yesterday the president what she said, enough is enough. All these things you can make a note of it. So whenever women empowerment is asked, the article about she box, you can use it as an example. So in this way it will be used. So again there was one more article regarding the lateral entry. So I am not going to discuss it again and again, because it's already whatever is discussed, we have already discussed. The idea you should understand what is lateral entry, why it is being criticized. Most important reason is the reservation wala thing, the lack of reservation. And the other thing is that there will be some administrative problems why these people coming from the private sector directly recruiting to the secretarial post will have some or other negative impacts to it. So this was the discussion about. So I hope today's discussion went well and you enjoyed. And if you are liking this content, if you are liking this initiative of NEWSPAP, if you are liking this channel, please do subscribe if you have not done it, and please do share this video, this channel to your fellow aspirants, to your friends in the school, colleges, and please do support in our growth. And be happy until we meet next time. This is me signing out from my classes. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.